Welcome to episode 2 of Games and Gaming Podcast. Today in the podcast, find out why I was almost late to the recording, how I broke Pokemon Red, and a game about millions and millions of people dying. Please enjoy. Hello everyone, I'm Mark.
And I'm Daniel.
And we're going to go ahead and kick it off with just what we've been up to since we last recorded here. And I have quite the tale to tell. I almost, was late to record this because I was playing Rocket League with some friends of mine. And boy, is that game fun. I, just got my hands on it. And it is just, I can't describe it anything other than fun.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I played it before, and I know exactly what you mean. The first time I played it, it was the same. I was the same way. I was like, this is so much fun. It's like, you ever seen the show Top Gear?
I have a couple episodes, not a whole lot.
The reason I mention it is because they do the same thing in real life. They use like little VW bugs or whatnot, and they play the soccer game with cars. So that's why.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just, as soon as the ball comes towards you and you just have like the perfect angle on it, a chorus goes off in your head and you're like, oh, this is going to be amazing. And then I completely whiff it and somebody else hits it into the goal, but it's still fun.
Yeah, going up on those walls and jumping off, trying to get the ball as it's flying towards you, and you hit the rocket, the boost, try to hit as hard as you can, and then you totally miss it.
Oh, yeah.
That's always fun.
Yeah, the guys I'm playing with, they're like, top tier. Well, they're not top tier, but they're good players. They were definitely humoring me as I was hitting the ball into our own goal, and every time I just fail miserably. Though, in my defense, I had a couple of clutch saves on goal, and I think that's about all I did.
Do you find yourself trying to play goal more or not? Because I did.
Excuse me, it depends on how you start out. This is basic Rocket League stuff, Daniel. You should know this. Really? If you start out closest to the goal, you play goal. God.
I'd say if you're the best goalie, you play the goal.
Is that how it works?
You don't change goalies just because you start closest to the goal.
Okay, so in real life, you have to play Rocket League like a real person, huh? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, right. You have certain positions that you're good at. Indeed.
Okay. I disagree. Daniel, you got anything to add?
Well, I've been taking some trips, very long trips to get my computer fixed. And as I do that, there is a board game store where they drop my computer off. And I finally got my hands on this one game, Red 7. It's a really easy card game. Takes literally probably around 10 minutes if you have complement of 4 players. It's 2 to 4 players. It's a really fast-paced game that on your turn, you're trying to change the rules of the game in order to be winning. So if you can't do that...
What kind of rules are you changing?
Like how you win. So the cards in front of you are either numbers. They're numbered, but they also have colors. So you use both to determine if you're winning. But the thing you use first is always a number. In the middle of the table, there's a rule that says the highest number. If you have the highest number, you win the game. You're winning, right? So on my turn, somebody has 7, I have number 6. So on my turn, if I can't play a 7 that's a higher color than the other person, I'm going to try and change the rules to say, okay, the player with the most even cards wins. So I play a 4, and then I've changed the rules in the middle by putting that card down.
And do you have just cards that change the rules?
Yeah, everybody does. Everybody has the same cards, really.
Gotcha.
And then on the next person's turn, they're going to have to try to beat me so they can be the one winning or change the rules. So the point is you have to, on your turn, you always have to change the rules so that you're winning. Somehow you have to be winning at the end of your turn. If you can't do that, you're out of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting mechanic.
Right, yeah. And it actually came out last year, and it made a big splash when it came out because it was so fast and the interesting mechanic of having to be the one winning at the end of your turn. And if I finally got my hands on it, and me and my wife played it, Megan played it last night. It was easy to learn, so we played 3 games in a row because it was so quick, and I lost. So
that's always good when you can get a game like that and then just play like 3 games right in a row.
Yeah.
That's how you know you got a good, fun, quick game.
Yeah, definitely. And that's a great filler game that you can play between waiting on other players to show up to the game night or between other games themselves. You can be, hey, just play this, just quick 1, 2, 3, or even at the end of the night. Say everybody's got like, oh, we only got 10 minutes before we got to go. You just end the game. You're just like, hey, let's pull this out, play this game real quick. You'll probably like it, most definitely.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to play it one of these days.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird online though. I have to hold the cards in front of you.
Well,
you'd be like, use the one on the left.
We'll make it work somehow.
Play the one on the left. No. Your left.
Stage left. Okay, why don't we go ahead and move on to the video game segment. Okay, guys, and on this video game segment today, I have something I really want to talk about. It's something that I came across, a few days ago. It was the Pokemon Red and Blue / Yellow glitches. So it's a video on YouTube. I believe it's Son of a Glitch is the guy who has or does the YouTube videos. And he does a video about Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow and the glitches that are in that game. And of course, everybody knows about the Missing No Pokemon, the one that's all glitched out, you know.
Huh. I never heard of it.
You've Okay, let me correct myself. Everyone except Daniel.
Well,
has
I will
heard
also
about...
say I'm not a Pokemon person, so I've never played Pokemon. I think it was past my time or before my time. Anyway, I was a little too old for Pokemon, so I never got into it. So.
You couldn't have possibly let me down any more than you just did right there.
I know. This is a secret I'm trying to keep from people because I'm ashamed a little bit.
You're trying to hide how much you just don't know anything about anything? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're failing at that. Yeah. So in this video, they talk about 3 or 4 different glitches. And, of course, it's the Missing No. And everyone knows that one. I've done that. And as we all know, it duplicates the 6th item in your inventory. The one that I found very, very interesting is that you can legitimately catch a Mew in that game. I did not know that. I was very happy to find that out. So the other glitch that they have in the very beginning of the game, you can get a level 100 Pokemon before you get to Brock at the first gym. And that is pretty cool. So
really,
the way both these glitches work is it works with what do you call it? Like, I don't know if it's working with the way the memory is stored on the cartridge or what. You make the game think that you're in a battle, and the way you do that is you can either or the way you have to do it for the first time is you have to be in the grass and get a random battle when you're walking in the grass, but also get seen by another Pokemon trainer at the exact same time. So what happens is you go into the random Poke battle first, and then you have to die in that Poke battle. So, or Pokemon battle, I should say.
Do you have to die within a certain time, or is
you have to die in that fight?
It doesn't have to be like die within 2 seconds or die in a minute.
No, it does. There's no time. There's no time limit. And actually, you have to do another thing that's pretty interesting too. Is you have to make sure that your one Pokemon, you can only have one Pokemon. It has to be your starter Pokemon, is poisoned because you have a chance of running into a Kakuna, which does nothing but harden and it can't kill you. So it takes a lot of tries to get that random battle in that one square you have to be in. So it's, like walk, oh, I didn't get it, reset the game, start over again, walk, oh, I didn't get it. And I did that roughly 40 to 50 times, to get it that perfect battle right where you need it. And so once that happens, you don't want to have to do that all over again. So if you make sure that your Pokemon is poisoned, even if you come across the Kakuna, which does not attack, then you'll still die. And once you die, you start the little death animation of, or I don't think there's an actual animation for it, but the screen blacks out. It says so-and-so blacks out, whatever you name your guy. And so it says he blacks out, and as the screen is going black, the little exclamation point comes over the guy's head. Like, he's like, oh, I see you now. And so at that point, the game thinks you're in a Pokemon battle. But you're not, because you get sent back to the Pokemon Center, or just outside of the Pokemon Center. Then you have to go and you have to do a bunch of other stuff. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. If you really want, you can go watch the video on YouTube, and it explains it all there.
So this is a long glitch process you have to go through.
Not really. There's only like 3 steps to it. But like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and explain everything. Okay. I've been explaining it for the past 10 minutes here. Anyway, so you do that glitch, and you can get a level 100 Nidoking, like right off the bat. So pretty much you can just walk through the rest of the game. But the glitch that I was really interested in is legitimately catching Mew. And so it starts off the same way. You do that same trick where you make the game think you're in a Pokemon battle. Then you have to go and fight this guy who has a Slowbro, I think, and you have to growl at him till it has no effect. And then you have to just walk left, and the game just blows up pretty much. I mean, there's so many things wrong with the game at that point. It just doesn't know what to do. It'll just randomly opens your inventory, like just walking left, your inventory will open. You cancel out of your inventory, and then you get into a random battle with Mew.
Huh.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty satisfying to pull that trick off, and when it finally works, it's definitely worth the time.
Is Mew like this amazing Pokemon thing that you can use?
I honestly don't know that much about the Pokemon and all the different Pokemon types and all that kind of stuff. He's definitely very powerful. Like, his type is the same type as like Mewtwo, and I know he's ridiculously powerful. He can learn any move. I believe he can learn any move. Every move that I've tried to teach him, he can learn.
Huh.
Yeah, I mean, you could give him
nice.
like fire, water, grass, or whatever, just all the different types. Do some damage with them. But anyway, that is what I want to talk about. Just kind of glitches and what they kind of do to a game. And in the case of Pokemon, I mentioned how many people know about the missing number, except for Daniel, and just what it does, like, to not spread the word, I guess you could say, but people remember the missing number glitch in Pokemon more than they remember the second gym master, or whatever you want to call him.
Right.
It's just
a game can become famous for the glitch and not the actual game, pretty much.
Yeah. It's something that's very interesting, is because these are cool things that back when we were kids, you would go to school and someone would be like, oh man, did you know you can catch this Pokemon if you do this and do that? And that was just amazing. So it's very interesting, or at least it was very interesting to me to finally figure out that glitch and go back after all these years, because I did play the original Red and Blue back in the day. The cartridge I had was blue, and my brothers, I think, both got red. So I was the odd man out. I loved the game. I played it all the way through. I'm trying to remember what my original starting Pokemon was. I believe it was Charmander, because, come on, who doesn't love Charmander? His tail is on fire. You cannot beat that. Come on. So, it's a game that's very near and dear to my heart, and I was very happy to go back and play it again, find out those cool glitches, and just glitches in games are amazing. They can cause very interesting or funny moments, or they can break a game altogether and it becomes unplayable and worthless. A few things come to my mind. Yeah, a few things come to my mind when I think of like game breaking glitches. But I'm also a big fan of video game speedrunning. The speedrunning community is amazing. I went to a speedrunning convention. It was Awesome Games Done Quick 2014, I think it was last year.
Yeah, I remember you spent the night at my house on the way there. That was pretty cool.
Did I? I honestly can't remember.
Oh my god, you don't even remember.
Oh yeah. Okay, because it was in DC, that's right.
You're right. And then on the way back, you stayed again for another night.
Yeah. Wasn't that kind of you to hold me up in your house?
Indeed. I really enjoyed it.
Don't lie to me, you hated it. I love speedrunning, and so many speedrunners have to utilize glitches. I mean, that's the main way that people beat games fast, is they use glitches, and it's very entertaining to watch. Some of the glitches are hilarious. One that comes to mind is the Wind Waker Fast Swim, I think they call it. It's something like Fast Swim or Ultra Swim, or I can't think it off the top of my head. But the glitch is you have to like move move the C stick, I believe, like back and forth, just oscillating it like ridiculously fast. Doing that creates Link to like go back. It's a very strange glitch. I recommend looking it up and looking at how cool it is. When Link is done going back and forth like a crazy person, he shoots along the ocean, and he can go all the way across the map because he's going fast enough.
Is it running on water, or is it just flying
he's swimming.
right over the water? Or something?
You get him in the water, and he's swimming. And
he just swims super fast.
It launches him, and he's just swimming ridiculously fast across the water. And you can make it to like islands you're not supposed to be able to get to in the beginning of the game and stuff like that. So,
I got a question for the. You mentioned that people on speedruns use glitches to do the speedrun. Do you think it's good to do, or do you think it's better if somebody doesn't use a glitch?
Oh, you're saying is it not pure that they're not beating the game using glitches?
Right.
No, I am definitely of the believing, or I believe, there we go, that however you beat the game, whichever way is fastest, that's the fastest way to do it. If clipping through this wall and jumping over here and getting into the load zone behind the door is faster than beating the entire dungeon to go through that one door, you clip through that wall.
Well, it's the same thing. It's not so much a glitch, but like a secret passage on Super Mario Bros. The very first one for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Where you can jump on top of the ceiling, pretty much of the caves or whatever, and just run straight across.
And go to the warp pipes.
You skip everything. Yeah. So stuff like that. Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you can do that, why not?
Yeah. All right, that's all I really have to say about that. Daniel, why don't you take us off to the next segment?
On this segment is the board game segment. I want to talk about a game that just released, actually, and a lot of people are excited about it. It's called Pandemic Legacy. Now, the whole Legacy thing started out in about 4 years ago with Risk, but the designer Rob Davio designed Risk Legacy, which took Risk, the actual Risk game, and made it so that as you're playing it in every playthrough, you're changing something in the board. So the game changes over time, and by the time you end the 20th play or something like that, it's a completely different game.
So what are some of the things that you're changing in the game?
You will change rules to the game. Now, I've never played it, but this is what I've heard. You'll change rules.
Yeah.
You'll change the names of the continents. You can blow up a whole area, like nuke it.
You can blow up a continent?
Yeah, crazy stuff like that. And
yeah.
A lot of people don't talk about it because it's such a unique experience. And to a lot of people, the game is going to be different. So it doesn't play the same in every game because people are going to make different choices and name continents differently or go after this guy instead of this other guy. So at the end of the game, at the end of the 20th play, for my group, will be a whole different thing for another group. So a lot of times people get together and actually compare how the game is different from their game.
Yeah.
That was pretty big when it came out in 2011. So from that, Matt Leacock, not from that, but Matt Leacock created a designed Pandemic, pretty much a co-op game that brought co-op to the forefront on board games. That game came out, I think, about 5 years ago as well, and it was pretty big. It brought a lot of people into the board gaming world because all of a sudden they were like, wait, we don't have to play against each other. We can just play together. And in that game, you're trying to save the world from an epidemic. You're going through, every player will be different characters with different powers. You got to go through and eradicate the diseases.
Are you saving them from a epidemic or a pandemic?
Exactly. Both.
Now we're thinking with portals.
So, yeah, that game came out, and it was huge. So, Rob Davio designed Pandemic Legacy, which just came out. So, it takes the whole premise of Risk Legacy, the whole legacy thing, and puts it into the pandemic. So, as you're going through the game, you're going to change the whole game out. And it takes place in 1 year. So, every play is 1 month. So, when you play it one time, is you start in January. And then if you lose, you can repeat that month again. So you can have up to 24 gameplays of this game before you're pretty much done with it, and it's done. And so far, the people have played it.
Is there 24 different like variations on what the rules can change to, or is there something else?
It's the same game, and just decisions you make during one gameplay affect all the decisions or the game itself in another game, in another later gameplay. Or I should say game session.
Okay.
So it's the same game. It's just it's changing over time. And from what I've heard, the first game plays like the regular Pandemic, which is just regular. You're going through saving the world, eradicating the diseases. But right at the end of the game, right away something changes, and you're like, "Whoa, I didn't expect that." And then the third game, fourth game, is more and more just changes that you don't expect. And it sounds like a really fun experience and unique to a player. Same thing, unique to the group. So it's going to be a different experience for Group A and Group B. So it's something actually...
And it only goes 24 times. Like, there's only 24 changes that take place. So if you played 24 straight games, is what you're saying.
Well, the reason I'm saying 24 is because each month could be played twice. Because if you lose the first time you play January, you play that month again. And then if you lose again... You still continue on to February, but something bad happens.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have enough money for the next gameplay, or you may have more money. Stuff reacts to you not winning that month. So in a way, that's what I'm saying. There's 12 months,
Gotcha.
So you can play it 24 times, but you could win every single gameplay and only play 12 times. So it's up to a max 24 times. The people have been hearing that they've been playing. I think they've played it 19 times and it's just about to end. They're in December right now. They're about to end the game. So, and everybody that's touched it, that's played it, just has loved it. So I think it's going to be a pretty big game. And I actually want to get it. And I was thinking, since it's a co-op, you and I could play it online. I could get the game, we could set it up, get a camera going, and we can hang out and play that game. Play it all the way through.
So what you're telling me is you're going to buy the game and I get to play it for free?
Yes.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah, because I also need another player.
Ah.
And I think you'll really like it. Because I've been trying to think of games I could play online with friends that don't live with me, like, near me, like you and others. So I think it'll be a good one.
That's honestly something to consider as well when you're playing games is, who's around you and how many normal players do you have? Like, I know a lot of games have a good amount of players. Like, game doesn't really work well unless you have 6 players. It's like, well, I don't have 6 friends, so I don't know that I'm going to get that game.
Exactly, yeah.
It's definitely something that goes into, at least my decision when I'm buying games is definitely, I look at the player count, and if the game is 4 or above players, it's like, I don't know that many people. So, something to think about when you're trying to get a game.
It's definitely something I keep in mind of who I'm playing with. That's how I buy my game. So, what do you think? Do you think it sounds interesting, this whole legacy thing?
Yeah, bro, I'm on board. Let's play it. Let's do it right now.
So, Rob Davio...
Start it up.
Rob Davio is actually designing another game that's just all his. Because right now, Risk wasn't really his game. He just added the legacy thing. Pandemic wasn't really his thing. He just added the legacy thing to it. But this other game that's going to come out next year is called Seafall. And it's all his. He's been designing this game for at least 3 years now that everybody's known about. And it's going to be something about... It's keeping it hush-hush, but something about you're going to be on a ship, back in the day, the sailing ship. And you're going to go and discover different continents. And that's how the game is going to change. Whoever discovers a continent gets to name it and whatnot. So that sounds really cool. I think that is going to be the next huge game that I want to get, for sure.
Are you going to be pirates?
That would be awesome. You find all the ships, you battle each other, so you take over the ship.
If I could be a pirate, then I'll be on board.
Yeah, you'll take their ship, commandeer it, name it what you want.
Wow. So I mentioned pirates, and it made me think of a game that I just played recently in Steam. Age of Booty. I'm playing this game, and it's pretty much you're a little pirate ship, and you have a little pirate base, and I think it's like a hex. I mean, it almost plays like a board game.
Cool.
It's a little hex grid, and you move along that grid. You have to get resources to upgrade your ship, destroy other ships that are floating around, and protect your ports. So you have to go to a port and attack it, and the port will attack you as well. And if you can destroy the port, you get whatever resource was there, and you can continually gain that resource once you own that port.
Cool.
Now, of course, it's the enemy's team to stop you from getting those ports and stop you from getting those resources. And it's a fun game. I played it on like the beginning difficulty, and I did very well. And then I tried like the hardest difficulty, and I didn't stand a chance. It was unbelievably difficult, and so I tried to bump it down a little bit to like the medium difficulty, and I still got my socks rocked, and I was like, okay.
So this is only a single player? It's not a multiplayer game?
No, it is a multiplayer game, but I was just playing the single player mode of it.
Okay.
And it was fun. It was fun. I say that about every game I play. It was fun.
It's like a Civilization. I was playing that game against a computer, and I had it on the easiest setting, and I'm like, man, this is pretty good. I'm pretty good at this game. Yeah, I'm pretty awesome. I'm kicking ass. I have these huge military. I could take over the world, no problem, right? And I was like, on the next game, I put it on the next. It's not even normal. It was like between easy and normal, and I got my ass kicked within like 20 minutes of playing that game. It's like I was just like, oh well, I guess I'm not that good. Go back to easy.
Yeah, right. Go back to easy. And then you mentioned the RTSs there, and the first one, real-time strategy, for those that don't know it. Daniel.
Sorry.
And and the game that immediately comes to mind is an old like Windows 95 game, DOS game, I want to say, if I remember correctly. It is, oh man, I can't think of the name of it now. I just had it. Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Good one.
It's like Wizard Blood and Magic. Yes. Oh, I remembered it. Ooh. I didn't let myself down. Yes. Good job, brain. If you can't hear, I'm patting myself on the back right now. I'm patting myself on the back. So the game's called Blood and Magic, and it's an RTS. It's so much fun. Like fond memories of being a little kid and playing this game on the computer. And there are no difficulty settings. It's just you start off on this map, and it's the easy map. Then you go to this one, it's the medium map, and you go to this one, it's the hard map.
Okay.
To this day, I ended up playing this game again like a couple years ago maybe. I cannot get past like the hard maps. The game just gets so I don't even know what to do at that point. I think because you're like level and your or not your abilities, but the monsters you can create kind of carries over. If you get this amount of experience points in this level, you can, learn to build this monster, and then in the next game you can do that. So I feel like I start the game out wrong, like I'm creating the wrong monsters. So when I get to those difficult places, I can't create the monsters that can deal with this. But
yeah, it's like you have to know which kind of monster, whatever you need for the later levels. You can't just
exactly. And I don't know that. I was but a wee little child when I played it back in the day, and nowadays I'm still a wee little child at heart. So I still have no idea what I'm doing. All right, and on that note, Daniel, you got anything else to add?
No, that's it. Just looking forward for that Legacy game. I'll probably be ordering it pretty soon, in the next couple of days. So be ready. That's you, Mark.
My body is ready.
Nice.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for listening. This has been the Games and Gaming Podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Daniel.
And you can follow us, if you'd like, on Twitter at Games and Gaming. I've been keeping that posted more or less, roughly, almost, kind of, maybe, a little bit. Trying to keep that updated with the Steam games that I'm playing through as I play through them. Yeah. And you can also go to our website at gamesandgamingpodcast.com. And you can also email us at gamesandgamingpodcast@gmail.com. And thanks, everyone, for listening, and I'll see you online.
And I'll see you at the table.